DreamKingz Films. We're with Coach Brian Allen of the Columbia Tigers. Hey, Coach, tough 6-3 loss tonight to this league generals team. Coach, real quick, I just want to get your thoughts on tonight's contest.
Yeah, well, first and foremost, got to give a lot of credit to Coach Smalls and his group, man. I've said it over and over and over. You know, you look back to when I first got here in 11 and us playing Robert E. Lee, it was very lopsided. Then all of a sudden, here shows up O.J. Smalls, and all of a sudden, each one of these games is competitive. He's came in here and he's turned his program around to where he has kids believing they can win. And whether it's all summer long, it's every reps Columbia, beat Columbia, because you know when you get the postseason, it's going to come through Columbia. They're coming to your place for you to continue to move on. He has his kids believing in that. So, you know, a lot of credit to him and staff and his kids, first and foremost. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're going to lose in this type of ball game, 2 overtimes where it's been a defensive battle, you know, that's the type of game that I guess if you got to pick your poison, this is the type that you want to lose in. Again, I'm proud of my kids, proud of the way they fought and persevered throughout the entire year. And like I said, told them a little while ago, now it's time to get ready for life for these seniors. For them, the classmen, it's time to get ready for next year.
Yes, sir, Coach. Just want to talk about your defense and the efforts they put out tonight. It took lead to the final play of 2 overtimes to score. That's a hell of a job out of the Tigers defense, Coach.
Yeah.
Can you just real quick give me something on that bunch?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, it's even sweeter in the way they played tonight after having a rough outing against Middleburg, week 9, giving up 41 against North Marion in the last game of the regular season, and then coming back and playing Ponte Vedra and only giving up 7. And the 7 came off a fumble that was on the -5. And then tonight playing this league generals team the way they did, extremely proud of, you know, not only those kids but my defensive coaches, the game plan they had put together. It was one that was good enough. We just didn't get it done enough on offense tonight.
Coach, on that last play, I know you haven't had a chance to look at the film yet probably, but on that last play, can you just give me your thoughts on what happened?
All I can think of is, from what I see, zone coverage. If it's zone coverage, they were able to get in a hole. Quarterback put it where he needed to put it and found that hole in zone coverage. And that's that. Again, you pick your poison. You play man and you get beat with one-on-one matchups. You play zone and you got a kid, a group of coaches that are able to find a hole. Kids know how to get in the hole, and that's what I saw, you know, on that last play. If it's zone coverage, they did a great job of sitting in a window and kid putting it on him where it needs to be.
Yes, sir, Coach. Jordan Smith, Marquez Bell, they played huge tonight, Coach. Can you just real quick talk about what your 2 playmakers brought to the table here at Columbia over these past few years?
Yeah, man, and I just said a little while ago, Jordan's going to go down to Columbia history as the all-time leading passer. You know, I don't know where he finished tonight. It was somewhere close to 2,800 on the year after having the 3,000 yard the year before. I mean, and what he put together is his sophomore season. Jordan's going to be a kid that had over 7,000 yards in his high school career. Again, he blows everything out of the water that's ever been at Columbia. Something that's going to be memorable for me for a long time. Same thing with Marquez. Marquez had his second back-to-back 1,000-yard season. Double-digit touchdowns again, and he's played since he was a freshman. So he's a kid that's going to lead his program 4,000, 5,000 yards receiving. So those kids are 2 dominant kids that have played in this program. The thing that I hope more than anything that they did was they had an impact on those ones that are coming behind them. The way Marquez worked, you know, relentlessly in the weight room, the way he committed himself, that I hope those young receivers watched him and the commitment he put together to be the dynamic player that he was. You know, the same thing with Jordan. You know, the next one has to get ready to be able to learn from the things Jordan did good. And if it's not one that moves around like Jordan, us being able to then have a kid know where he's going with the football at all times and get ready. So that's what I expect, you know, that their impact, you know, leaves a legacy behind for the next group that's up.
Coach, last question before we get out of here. I know you don't want to trash the referees, but Jordan had a touchdown pass that was called back. I just want to get your thoughts on that. Do you think it was clean or what, Coach?
Well, I mean, they called us for chop block in the interior. I hadn't had a chance to look at the film to see if it's chop block. I know I have no pass protection where we have anybody going low on any kid. I don't know if somebody got rolled up and there was someone that was still blocking. I don't know it without me watching the film yet. But again, if you got to pick one play in a football game that is the dictator of a win or a loss, there's 5 or 6 or 7 somewhere else that could have determined it as well. So, you know, I don't think that one is the one. I think we had opportunities outside of that one that, again, we just weren't good enough offensively tonight to get it done.
Yes, sir, Coach. Thanks for talking with me. Good luck to y'all future.
All right, thank
Appreciate you, Coach.
Well,